Hello, welcome to ECBSC online classes. In this video, we will be covering polynomials for class 10th. The topic is zeros of a polynomial. It is part C video in the series on polynomials. In the previous video, we learnt about value of a polynomial. It is defined as the following. If f of x is a polynomial and a is a real number, then the value of polynomial f of a is obtained by replacing x with a in f of x. Please take a note of that. In other words, we can say that f of a is the value of polynomial f of x for x equal to a. Let us consider a polynomial g of x equal to x cube minus 6x square plus 11x minus 6 and find value of g of x for x equal to 2. That is g of 2, which can be obtained by substituting 2 for x in the equation. And when you simplify it, what you get is 0. It means that g of 2 is 0, right? Since g of 2 is 0, we say that 2 is a 0 of the function g of x. Please take a note of that. The definition of 0 of a polynomial is the following. If value of f of x is 0 for x equal to a, mathematically we write it as f of a equal to 0, then a is called 0 of the polynomial f of x. Please take a note of that. Let us consider another polynomial, that is f of x equal to x square minus 5x minus 300, and find value of f of x at x equal to 20. Means you would be substituting 20 for x in the equation, right? When you simplify this, you get f of 20 equal to 0. It means that 20 is a 0 of this particular function, right? Now the question is, why zeros of a polynomial are important? Why one should be worried about knowing those numbers? Let's quickly recall the example we have seen in the first video on this particular topic. That is, let us consider a sheet of area 300 square units whose length is x units and width is x minus 5 units, right? So area can be written as 300 equal to x times x minus 5. Since it is a rectangle, we can multiply x into x minus 5 is going to be your area, right? This equation can be rearranged to write it as x square minus 5x minus 300 is equal to 0. It is similar to saying that f of x equal to x square minus 5x minus 300 equal to 0, right? It means that f of x is 0. And we have just seen that 20 is a 0 of this particular function. It means that 20 is the value of x we are looking for. Area can be written as 300 equal to 20 times 20 minus 5, that is 15, right? So now 20 is the answer we are looking for to solve this particular problem, right? What we can say now is, knowing a 0 of this particular function helped us to solve the problem. You agree with that, right? Now the question is, how many zeros are such solutions possible? That is the question we are going to ask in this particular video. Let us consider a linear polynomial, that is f of x equal to 2x plus 3, and find value of the function at x equal to 1. F of 1 is equal to 5, that is not equal to 0. It means that 1 is not a 0 of this particular function, right? Let's find the value of f of x for x equal to minus 3 by 2. F of minus 3 by 2 is 0. It means that minus 3 by 2 is a 0 of the polynomial given, right? Let's consider another linear polynomial, that is g of x equal to 5x plus 5. And find value of g of x for x equal to minus 1. When you substitute minus 1 for x in this equation, what you get is g of minus 1 that is equal to 0. It means that minus 1 is a 0 of g of x equal to 5x plus 5, right? End of this exercise also, we are not clear how many zeros are possible for a linear polynomial. To understand that, let's consider again the linear polynomial f of x equal to 2x plus 3 and tabulate data of f of x for various values of x. I have chosen x ranging from minus 2 to 3 and found values of f of x by substituting those values of x into the equation 2x plus 3 and evaluate such that you get f of x. For x equal to minus 2, we get f of x equal to minus 1, and when x equal to 0, f of x is going to be 3, and when x equal to 3, f of x is going to be 9. When you plot this data, you get a graph like this. In this particular graph, we would be interested in horizontal line, that is f of x equal to 0 line, and the line in red color is the function we looked at, that is f of x equal to 2x plus 3. If you observe this, the f of x equal to 2x plus 3 line is intersecting with f of x equal to 0 line at x equal to minus 3 by 2. Or in other words, f of x equal to 2x plus 3 becomes 0 at x equal to minus 3 by 2, right? And observe the figure further. You can say that for all values of x other than minus 3 by 2, f of x is not equal to 0, right? And minus 3 by 2 is the only 0 for f of x equal to 2x plus 3, right? You agree with that? Let's take a look at another linear polynomial, that is g of x equal to 5x plus 5, and tabulate data of g of x for various values of x. And once you plot that, you get a graph like this. From this graph also, we can say that g of x becomes 0 only at x equal to minus 1. For all other values of x, g of x is not equal to 0. Now, it means that minus 1 is the only 0 for g of x equal to 5x plus 5, right? Based on these two examples, we can say now that linear polynomials have only one 0. Please take a note of this. Now let's consider quadratic polynomials. Consider a quadratic polynomial, that is f of x equal to x square minus 3x minus 4, and tabulate data of f of x for various values of x. I chose values of x ranging from minus 2 to 5 and calculated values of f of x for every value of x chosen, and then plot it. Once you plot, you get a graph like this. From this graph, you can say that f of x becomes 0 at x equal to minus 1 and x equal to 4, right? For all other values of x other than minus 1 and 4, f of x is not equal to 0. Minus 1 and 4 are only zeros of f of x equal to x square minus 3x minus 4, right? Please take a note of that. Now let's consider another polynomial, quadratic polynomial, that is f of x equal to minus x square minus 2x plus 3. When you tabulate the data for different values of x and then plot it, you get a graph like this. From this graph also, we can say that for x equal to minus 3 and 1, f of x is becoming 0. So we can say that minus 3 and 1 are the zeros of f of x equal to minus x square minus 2x plus 3. Let's now consider another function, that is f of x equal to x square minus 6x minus 9. When you plot this particular function, you get a graph like this. From this graph, we can say that only 3 is the number for which f of x is becoming 0. It means that 3 is the only 0 possible for this particular function. Please take a note of that. Let us consider another polynomial, that is f of x equal to 2x square minus 4x plus 5, for which you can get a curve like this. From this curve, we can say that the curve is not touching or crossing the x-axis, that is f of x equal to 0 line. It means that f of x equal to 2x square minus 4x plus 5 has no zeros, right? Let's quickly recall. The first function we have seen is f of x equal to x square minus 3x minus 4 has two zeros. The second function what we have seen has got two zeros. Another function f of x equal to x square minus 6x minus 9 has got only one zero. And f of x equal to 2x square minus 4x plus 5 has no zeros. From this, or based on this, what we can say is quadratic polynomials can have two zeros at most. Please take a note of this. Let's quickly take a look at cubic polynomials now. Consider a cubic polynomial, that is f of x equal to x cube minus 4x, and tabulate data of f of x for various values of x and plot this. You get a graph like this. From this graph, you can say that f of x has three zeros. Those are minus 2, 0, and 2. Please take a note of that. Let's consider another cubic polynomial, that is f of x equal to x cube minus 4x square. If you tabulate data of f of x for various values of x and plot it, you get a curve like this. From this graph, we can say that f of x has only two zeros. Those are 0 and 4. Based on whatever we have seen for cubic polynomials, we can safely say that cubic polynomials have three zeros at most. Please take a note of this word, at most. For the linear polynomial f of x equal to ax plus b, we know that degree is 1, and we have just seen that linear polynomials have only one zero, right? And for quadratic polynomial, we know that degree is 2. And we have seen that quadratic polynomials have no or 1 or 2 number of zeros, right? In other words, we said that quadratic polynomials can have at most two zeros. And cubic polynomial, we know that its degree is 3. And we have seen that cubic polynomials can have at most three zeros. When you read all these statements, you understand that there is a relation between degree of the polynomial and the maximum number of possible zeros for a given polynomial, right? So we can say that degree of polynomial defines the maximum number of zeros possible. Once you said that, a polynomial of degree equal to n can have at most n number of zeros. For example, polynomial of degree 1, that is linear polynomial, it has got only one zero. Quadratic polynomial of degree 2 has got at most two zeros. Cubic polynomial of degree 3 has got at most three zeros. Similarly, a polynomial of n degree can have at most n number of zeros. I hope you like the video. Please like, share and subscribe our channel eCBSE online classes on YouTube and follow us on Facebook. Thank you.